Are you sure you don't want to audition?
It's time to find out who will play what role in Beauty and the Beast. Let's break down Season 2, Episode 2 of High School Musical, the musical, the series, right here on What Happened. What's up, Wildcats? Lisa here, and it is time for another HSMTMTS recap, reaction, breakdown, whatever people call it, whatever you want to call it. This episode is called Typecasting and finds some of our faves fighting against typecasting, but also being typecast. This episode features Beauty and the Beast auditions and also features one of my favorite songs from this whole show so far. So let's go ahead and dive into the drama of this episode. Alright, so everyone is getting pumped and ready for auditions, and of course Carlos announces that he is going to audition this year because there's no choreographer award or whatever when it comes to the Mankeys. Also auditioning will be Big Red and Courtney. Now, Ashlyn is pretty sure she's going to be Mrs. Potts because, well, she played Mrs. Darbus and the roles are similar. She's basically typecasting herself. But of course, she thinks Big Red could be Chip, and if that happens, well, that would just be a little bit awkward. EJ, decked out in his Duke hat because he's still already thinking he's accepted into Duke when he hasn't been, tells Ricky that Ricky is welcome because EJ is just too darn busy as a senior to audition for the Beast. He can only handle a supporting role, but Ricky then makes things a little bit awkward.
You're not doing the musical either?
No, I've only got the bandwidth for a supporting role. Wait, what do you mean either?
So yeah, Ricky is still wrestling with the idea of if he should audition or not because, well, he can't do anything without Nini, right? I'm just kidding, guys. He has grown some. We do see that instead of breaking up with Nini when she left, like he did the last time she went away, he gave her a snow globe and said he'd FaceTime her 300 times a day, which seems like it should be sweet, but actually kind of sounds a little creepy. But maybe that's just me. Alright, but back to everybody in the cafeteria where they're hanging out. A really energetic new girl named Lily walks over and starts fangirling hard over them, showering them with compliments about their production of High School Musical, and says that basically they all inspired her to audition for the musical this semester. But as someone new to theater, she's pretty intimidated because they're all so darn talented. They, of course, are super nice to her, and she grabs a selfie with them, and all seems good so far, right? When it comes to the auditions, Ashlyn actually wants to audition as a group with Courtney and Gina. She's gotten approved by Miss Jen already, but Gina, while she has opened up more and we've seen her kind of have a little bit of a softer side, but she still has her rough edges, hints of old Gina come through when she decides that, no, she wants to do this for herself. Why does everybody always want to do everything buddy-buddy? She's not really used to having friends like this, I guess. So she decides she wants to audition solo, and it seems, to crush Ashlyn, even though Ashlyn tries to not show it, because we know these two have really been bonding since living together. Now, while Ricky's still debating on whether or not to audition, Big Red is a nervous wreck and thinks that he'll disappoint Ashlyn if he messes up his tap number, but Ricky's a good friend and encourages Big Red, and Big Red, though, says he'd feel better if Ricky was up there too, and Ricky kind of says he hasn't ruled it out yet. Now, even though Nini is away, they're keeping their promises to FaceTime a million times, and she FaceTimes with both Ricky and Courtney before their auditions to cheer them on, but only one of them gets their name on a sweater. Now, as everyone is in the auditorium for auditions, Ricky is still having doubts, hanging outside in the hall, debating whether to go in or not, and that's when some harsh but real words from Mr. Mazzara sink in.
I've had you in my class. You're not exactly the type of person who finishes what he starts. You don't complete assignments. You walk off stage in the middle of performances. It can't exactly be news to you that people think of you as unreliable.
Damn, that's some brutal honesty from a teacher, no less. Like, are they allowed to talk like that to students? It is after hours, so I don't know, but whatever it is, gives that little push to Ricky that he needs. So now this audition process is going to be 2 parts. Everyone sings Belle as a group warm-up number, and then they all perform individual songs of their choice. And can we just give a shout out to Carlos for inserting Mamma Mia 2 in here? Just a reference, it's great.
Guess he decided to come after all.
Is this Mamma Mia too? Because here we go again.
Ricky does end up running in last minute to audition, but let's just say that he's super off his game, and I mean, I'd say his audition is pretty sad, and if this was anybody else but Ricky, they would not be getting cast in this musical. If anything, they'd be an extra or a stage crew member, but he's Ricky, you know? He even doesn't have an audition song prepared, and he just has to sing a sad version of Bet On It Again, but thankfully they don't make us listen to him sing that for a third time. I mean, he does sing it, like, for a few seconds, but we don't have to listen to him sing it again. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, I gotta say that I am a huge fan of audition scenes in movies. They just make me happy, I think they're hilarious, and they make me smile. Like the audition scene from High School Musical, from Pitch Perfect, even Bring It On. I love it. So this scene in this episode of everybody singing Belle is just so amazing.
Bonjour, good day, how is your family? Bonjour, good day, how is your wife? I need 6 eggs, that's too expensive.
I said she's gorgeous and I fell.
Here in town there's only she, who is beautiful as me.
So I'm making plans to woo and marry Belle.
I also love it because obviously everybody gets their own little shot to shine, really show off their pipes, people we haven't heard sing maybe a lot. But we need to take a second here to acknowledge the angelic voice of Olivia Rose Keegan, who plays Lily. Like, I know we're not supposed to like her character, which I'll get to in a second, but her voice is just, it's amazing. And in real life, she's a sweetheart.
Adventure in the great white somewhere. I wanted more than I can tell.
But yeah, during this section, everybody sounds great, but someone really catches Miss Jen's eye, or should I say ear, and that's Ashlyn. Everyone then goes and takes a 5-minute break, and that's when we really get to see Lily's true colors. She approaches Gina thinking that they're the same type of person, those cutthroat people that just want the lead role and will do anything to get it, because I'm guessing that she's heard about Gina, or maybe she has been at the school and has observed Gina last semester. I don't know, but with the theme of this episode, she basically typecasts her. Now Lily, she reveals that she's not really the sweet little fangirl like she presented herself to be, but someone who's determined to shake things up and get the lead. She's not new to theater. She just says she's new to local theater like this. Thankfully though, Gina, like I said, she has grown and we are seeing her come out of her shell, embrace friendship, and she sticks up for her friends. And I gotta say, anybody that actually says something like this out loud, I feel like they're just automatically the worst.
May the best Belle win. Smiley face emoji.
Thankfully though, Lily's conversation with Gina and her ugly heckling prompts Gina to join Courtney and Ashlyn on stage for the audition. And can I just say that this song, like I said earlier, this is the song I mentioned or alluded to, that's one of my favorites from this show. It's just so freaking catchy, and I feel like I should listen to it while I work out, if I actually work out.
Finally, yeah, don't get us together. There's nothing better than 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Like, does it give anybody else Little Mix vibes, which is totally a good thing in my book, and it just makes me so excited to hear what other original songs are coming this season. Like I said, first season original songs, amazing. We're having more this season, and right now they're really taking it up a level. Anyway, the auditions continue, and during Ricky's Bet On It performance, which I mentioned isn't that great, Miss Jen questions whether Ricky can be trusted to be there for his scene partners, basically echoing what Mr. Mazzara said because, well, he ran out of the show last semester, and at this point it's kind of like, I'm not betting on Ricky. Oh god, see what I did there? Sometimes I hate myself. Anyway, Ricky actually proves Miss Jen wrong when Big Red goes up to do his tap dance audition and ends up kind of messing up and falling, gets laughed at, only laughed at by Lily, but you know what? Ricky doesn't hesitate and runs out to help his best friend and encourage him, and Big Red ends up nailing his tap dance routine, prompting Miss Jen to cast him right away as LeFou. Alright, so now that auditions are done, it is time to see who gets what role. Now, some of these I feel like are kind of obvious because, I mean, the theme of typecasting, but some are maybe a surprise to you. Ricky gets the role of Beast because he's proved he can be a good scene partner or be there for his scene partners. EJ is, of course, Gaston because that role just seems like it was made for him. Carlos is Lumiere, Seb is Chip, Gina is the Feather Duster, Big Red is LeFou, and Courtney, who thought she'd just be a dancing table or a spork, ends up getting the role of Miss Potts. Now remember how Ashlyn thought she was a shoo-in for Miss Potts? Well, not this time. She got something better.
I think there's been a mistake.
Wait, did you not get a part?
I got the part.
Wait, you mean...
I got Belle. I'm Belle.
That's right, no typecasting here for her. She is Belle, and I absolutely love that choice. You know who doesn't love that choice? Lily, who huffs and puffs and storms off, but Miss Jen ends up stopping her and basically telling her what's up.
But around here, we don't laugh at people who put themselves out there, even when they look a little silly. In fact, we cheer for them.
Ah, wise Miss Jen. But you know what? That's pretty much the drama at East High. One of my the funny things is, remember how Ashlyn was like, didn't want to play Mrs. Potts and Chip with Big Red because that would be weird. Well, now she's playing Belle to EJ's Gaston, and EJ's her cousin, so yeah, that's weird too. But yeah, that's all the drama at East High. So what's actually happening with Nini? She's settled into the Youth Actors Conservatory in Denver, and her roommate happens to be Emily from theater camp. Now they're rehearsing lines for their class when Emily says she's just tired of doing the same scene because they always do it the first day of every acting class since she's been there. It's tiring, but you know what? She deals with it because she knows this process works, and she does accents and all these kind of fun things because she knows she's considered more of a character actor than a lead. And Nini asks her if, she's tired of that, but Emily's just like, no, this is the process. This is how it works. The theme of typecasting again. Well, Nini decides, no, that's not good enough. Anybody can be a lead or whoever they want to be, so she decides to get creative, and the next day they perform the scene. And, well, they've updated it to modern language. And you know what? This does not impress Professor Grumpy Pants, who keeps calling Nini Nina. Now, Nini says she's just trying to stretch herself as an actor and take risks because that's one of the cool things about even being an actor. But yeah, Grumpy Pants tells her that they can do the scene again tomorrow and she needs to go on vocal rest. And then the dean ends up checking in with Nini, and Nini says she feels a little out of place, but the dean's like, these are growing pains, they're normal. And then shoots down Nini's idea of starting a songwriting club and tells her that the only song that Nini should focus on is the boring ass school anthem, which we hear Nini play on her ukulele sadly after she has to FaceTime with everybody while they're at Salt Lake Slices celebrating their roles, and you can tell she definitely feels left out and is not having the time that she thought she would have at this school. It feels like more of a, I don't want to say cult, but it's just very much like by the book, no fun and no creativity, which is something you maybe wouldn't think from an acting school. I don't know. I'm not an actor. I don't go to acting school. But now, how does the episode end? Well, you always have to have like a little cliffhanger or something to tease what's to come. And well, the episode ends with Lily creepily watching the group from outside the pizza place. And she gets on the phone and places a call to North High and asks for the drama department. Yeah, dun dun dun. So we have now met our, I guess, rival, villain, whatever you want to call her, of this season. Why she's calling the school that late at night, though, I don't know. Like, is she gonna leave a message? Do they have answering machines at the drama department? And does anybody actually listen to answering machines? Or would anybody actually be there at the school that late? Like, why is she calling then? Why doesn't she call the next morning? I don't know. I guess you just have to make it fit into the scene. But yeah, I feel like you can kind of guess what she's gonna be doing next. If you can't get the lead at this school and you're so ruthless that you'll do anything for it, you're gonna go to the school that only cares about winning and not fun, which kind of starts to sound like Nini's school that she's at. Yeah. Anyway, as for Nini, she seems miserable at her boarding school and definitely bummed out, like I said, about, everybody else just being happy and together. So how long will she stay at this school? Is she gonna pull a Gabriella like we saw at, High School Musical 3 when she goes off to college early and then, rushes back to be part of the musical last second? I do like, though, that this episode we got to see some growth from Gina. And as for Ricky, it seems like he's gotten his groove back and is excited for the show. So yeah, that's basically all the drama for this episode. Everything is just heating up. The season's just getting started, so let's watch the promo for the next episode.
Happy Valentine's Day. Are you ready to be swept off your feet?
Could we actually just talk for a second?
But seriously, what'd you get me?
Valentine's Day is kind of hard for me this year.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Oh man, Valentine's Day, especially in the world of teenagers, in high school is definitely going to bring drama, awkwardness, and I don't know, surprises. I also know that there's a lot of people who ship Ricky and Gina over Ricky and Nini, and I just gotta say, this teaser probably gets you hyped. And I've already seen the next episode, so I can't really comment on what happens, but I feel like there's some interesting stuff on that forefront. But yeah, that's all I got for you this time. Let me know all your thoughts about this episode down below. What did you think about the music? What did you think about the roles that everybody got? We still have a few more new characters we have yet to meet. Those include Howie, played by Roman Banks, who you'll meet next episode. We have Antoine, the French exchange student, played by Andrew Barth Feldman, which we haven't met yet. He's not in the next episode. I'm not even sure when he comes in, but I am curious how he's going to fit into the show. Because he's a French exchange student, I'm kind of wondering if maybe he comes in and tries to play Lumiere, steal the role from Carlos or something, or maybe he'll be Belle's father, Maurice. I don't know how that's all going to play out. That's something I don't know that I'm excited to see. And we also still have some other characters that'll be coming in. I know Asher Angel guest stars and all kinds of things. But speaking of the cast and how much I love them, I played a fun game of Would You Rather with them. You can check that out right over here. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my recaps, future interviews. I still have some interviews from this past junket that need to go up. And yeah, just subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. I like to ramble and do things on this channel. But yeah, that's all I got for you right now. I'm Lisa. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again next time.